A few people on my Facebook page have asked about procrastination. Why are they finding that they're moving into procrastination around their dreams and goals? So my fairy godmother tip and trick for you is that procrastination is just a very long word for fear. Fear is what happens when you're not taking action around your dreams and goals. So you'll know that you're in fear when you're procrastinating or not taking the actions that you really need to do. So there are two types of fear. There's rational fear and there's irrational fear. Rational fear is when your actual survival is in threat. So someone's got a gun to your head, or you're driving your car and you drive over a cliff and you feel frightened. That's rational fear. Every single other fear that we have is irrational. And there are 7 types of irrational fears that stop us from living our dreams. So I write about this in more detail on my blog, on my website. But here quickly are the 7 irrational fears. So the first irrational fear is the power of authority or not fulfilling the wishes of authority. So you might have had this fear when you got called into the headmaster's office, or you might have had this fear when you were younger around your parents and what your parents might think about your dreams and goals. The second fear is the fear of failure. What happens if I do this and I fail? The third fear is I don't know enough. How could I possibly live my dreams and goals? I don't know enough. The fourth fear is the money fear. Like, how am I going to make money living my dreams and goals? And this is one of the reasons why I've created my money magic programs, to get people through all of these money nonsense and the money fears. The fifth fear is loss of respect of a loved one. So you're concerned about what your spouse will think, what your friends will think, what your parents will think, what your children will think about you going after or doing this dream and goal. The next fear is rejection by society. And the last fear is the fear of ill health or lack of physical well-being. So those are the 7 fears that stop us from living our dreams. But the most important thing is, how do you overcome these fears? So here is my fairy godmother ultimate tip and trick for overcoming fear. The first step is be aware that you're in fear. How do you know that you're in fear? Well, you're not taking action around your dreams and goals. You're procrastinating. Those actions that you want to take are going to the bottom of your to-do list. And then do a written exercise. And I highly recommend you do this as a written exercise, because if you try to do this exercise in your head, the fear is so clever, it will try to rationalize itself. If I take this action, and then write down what the action is, and then write down what's the best thing that can happen and what's the worst thing that can happen. And what you'll find when you write those down is that the best thing that can happen will light up your soul. It'll make you feel great. And when you write down the worst thing that can happen, it is never as bad as the fear that you actually feel. And it's often the status quo. It's often the way things are right now. It's often the result that you currently have. Do this exercise a few times whenever you're experiencing fear, and you'll find that it's an exercise that allows you to step through that fear, move through it, and take your required action. Just take the action. If you enjoyed this video, please spread the magic. Share it on Facebook, share it through Twitter, or leave a comment below.